break has been the major factor in this match. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch Denis break the balls, see what kind of result he gets from this position. And there he goes. He squats the rock, makes a ball. But that one ball didn't do what he wanted it to. It's up at the wrong end of the table. It's actually behind that 9 ball. The 1 and the 2 are in that position, so he's going to either have to bank this or play a safety. And I like thinning this 1 ball, putting it almost directly behind the 9 and coming 3 rails down towards that 4 ball. He's looking to hit it on the wrong side. You basically want to thin this and put it right behind the 9 ball. Just like that. That would have came down a little further. This right here is an easy 1 rail kick. This is Efren Reyes coming to the table. And what Efren's looking at is going to the left side of that 1 ball and bringing that 1 ball behind the 9. I don't know if he can avoid this 2 ball. See how this works out. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Right behind this 5 ball. Absolutely perfect. Now, what I don't like about this is you see what Denis is looking at. If he can bank underneath and get that 1 ball, that 9's lined up perfectly in the side pocket. So he's got a chance here if he wants to take a stab at it. Even though it does look like it's a stab in the dark, you basically want to make contact with this 1 ball and not leave Efren a shot, which is easier said than done. So you see him looking and how to get that cue ball directly to go into the 1 ball. Nice shot. And it's about as good as you can do right there. That's one of the toughest shots in pool right there, when you have that ball right near the side pocket. And I don't know if Efren can make this or not, but what I do know is if he wants to, he could play a safe by either stopping the cue ball and banking the 1 down towards the 4 and the 7 through that gap. You see him looking at the clearance for the cue ball. And it's very important when you're playing safe to either control the cue ball or the object ball. You never want to have to control both at the same time. And that's what Efren's looking at. He's looking at the clearance that he has for the cue ball and the options that he has for the direction to go off of that 1 ball. You see him hitting about center ball. Brings that 1 ball back over and across. And he's getting a lot of use out of the position of the 5 and the 9. So he's left Denis a pretty simple jump shot here. It's going to be kind of hard if he does decide to jump this, and if he pockets the 1 ball, it's going to be pretty difficult to get position on the 2. So he's going to go ahead and kick. And he narrowly hits that 1. I don't know about that, but he's left Efren a chance to get out here. So the first thing Efren's going to look at is to see if that 1 ball go into the side. I'm not sure if it passes the 7 and the 2 to go up into the corner. But I want you to watch Efren and the way he makes his decisions. See him looking at it, he's studying it, and he's going to come all the way over. Look at that. He's going to see how that 1 ball goes into the pocket. And there you see him. He's looking at the range of his cue ball movement, what he can do with it, what he can't do with it. And When he makes his decision of what he's going to do, look, he gets right down. And he's got a narrow area to get that cue ball into, in between the 3 and the 9. And that was about as good as you can get. And going from the 2 to the 3 is not a gimme either. And you see Efren coming back to the pocket, and he's studying his next shot. And you can learn a lot by watching him and the way he studies each and every shot. And you see he comes and he sees it from both ends, behind the pocket, behind the cue ball. Nicely done. And he might have got a little straight on this. So once again, he goes right back into study mode. And he looks at the range that he has to move his cue ball in relation to making the shot. He makes his decision, he gets down, and he executes the shot. You better look out here. Wow. Narrowly misses scratching. And once again, you see him go right back to study mode. And for Efren, it's a process. He sees the shot, and then he looks to see exactly what he can and can't do with his cue ball. Here he's going to throw a little bit of follow and come over to the other side of the 5. You see how the cue ball just kind of dies into position. And from here, he's got a series of stop shots. Stop shot from the 5 to the 6. He can put a little bit of draw on this and slide over. That straightens out the cue ball there. And now just go ahead, pocket the 6 ball. And Efren is 2 balls away from getting to the hill. Here's going to pop off the rail here just a little bit. Leaving himself straight in on the 9 ball. And there you go. It wasn't easy, but he got there. So Efren Reyes moves ahead 8-7. And now it's his break. And from watching the greatest players, you can learn so much, not only by what they do, but what they don't do. Efren is one of these players that I love to watch his eyes. I love to watch what he's looking at. He's very animated in his mannerisms and his facial expressions. And one of the most important things that you can learn from watching that last rack is that Efren studies most shots, not only from behind the cue ball, he goes behind the pocket. He gets behind the object ball to see the path that it's going to travel. He also looks and wants to see the path that his cue ball is going to take before he shoots. He doesn't do that while he's down in his stance. He walks around and actually looks. And let's watch his break here. There he gets a lot of hop on that cue ball. And he's very unhappy at the position of the 1. And usually when the 1 ends up down on that bottom rail, it means that you hit a little bit too hard. And neither player during this match was able to get the speed of the table down on the break. I don't think making a ball was a problem, but controlling that 1 ball off of that side rail definitely was an issue for both players. And just like most of the other games in this match, it's a break shot followed by no shot on the 1, followed by a safety. And Denis comes to the table. I believe he's got a window, not only to hit this one, I'm pretty sure he can make this 1 ball off of the 7. Even if he knocks the 1 ball into the rail, it does have a chance to creep into that pocket. He hit a little bit too hard. Just a little too hard there. And what you see Efren looking at is whether or not that one has enough room to pass into that corner pocket. Basically right here he's doing a gut check, and he's deciding whether or not he wants to play the shot or play the safety. He has natural position to go either way. The one, if it goes into the pocket, he has natural position to come all the way back up to where he's at right now for position on that 2-ball. Now if he wants to play the safe, he's got natural position to come 1, 2, 3 rails behind the 6. And he's gone for the shot here, and what a shot. So right now the problem becomes the 3-ball. And let's watch Efren solve this puzzle. You see him looking at the path from where he can hit the 2 back over to the 3. So he might try to hit the 5-ball with the cue ball here. Whoa. And obviously he came up short. So and now his cue ball doesn't have many options for him to play safe. If he hits it on the right side, it's very hard to get into the rail. And then I believe after the rail, he's going to go into the 6. So I think the correct shot is to apply a little bit of low right, bring the cue ball behind the 6-ball. I don't believe he can bank this without scratching off of the 6. So he's in a tough spot here. And you're going to see him study this for quite a while. The problem with the safety going behind the 6 is once he hits that 3, he's got to hit it real thin. He's just going to pop that 3 right out in front of the side pocket. And he doesn't want to do that. He can't go to the other side. I don't know if trying to get behind the 5 is an option, but he looks like he's going to hit this pretty hard. And I believe he left a shot. I believe he can thin this 3-ball into the side pocket. If he can do that, then it just becomes a matter of controlling the cue ball 2 rails to the 4-ball. And he's got a pretty big area to work in. See where he's got his tip down on the table. He's got a very large area to work with there. He just doesn't want to let go of his cue ball on this shot. You really have to maintain control. That's why he's down on the bottom of the ball, trying to put the brakes on there. Might hit this a little short. He's okay. He's got a natural angle to slide over for the 5. And there he's just kind of looking to see if he wants to go no rails or 1 rail. I like falling short, not getting over to that rail. That way you have an angle to come out for the 5, just like he did right there. He's got a little bit too much angle. And he's all out of mistakes. You know, he can't afford to make any more errors. So he's got to take his time here, see exactly what he needs to do, see the path that the 5 needs to travel into that pocket. Just kind of take it all into slow motion, just like he did right there. And that's absolutely perfect. And what it comes down to now is just maintaining your composure, trying to calm your nerves down. I'm pretty sure his heart is racing 1,000,000 miles an hour right now. But his job is to get these last 3 balls in. And he decided to follow the cue ball. He opted for a longer shot on the 7. And when you're about to meet the greatest player in the history of the game at the hill, you want to make things as easy as possible. So he must be pretty confident with this shot right here. It's a stop shot, and he hit it about as good as you could hit it. You see him taking his time, chalking his cue. And here, just get the ball in the hole. Well done. So Denis and Efren are hill. And I don't care who you are. You take Efren Reyes to the hill, you get my respect. And he's played a heck of a match thus far. The break really not working for either player most of the time. Each player's had their moments where they've played well, and each of them have made a lot of errors. But it all comes down to this, and Denis is in a great position because it's his break. And waiting for the referee to rack the balls, and this will probably be the most important break in his career. So this is what it's all about. Hill against the greatest player in the world. The most important break shot of his life coming up right now. And he's going to go ahead and inspect this rack. I mean, you want to make sure all the balls are properly in the rack. So he's concerned about that 7 ball, which is one of those 2 balls right below the 9. Let's see how he hits this. The idea here is to make a ball and control that 1 ball. And there he goes, squats the rock. Look out, look out. Oh, wow. That's bad luck. He squatted the rock and got kicked into the side pocket. Wow. Let's watch this. He squats the rock beautifully. Watch this. Cue ball. Look at that. And that 6 ball comes 2 rails, hits into the 5 ball, which ricochets into the cue ball, and it drops right into the side pocket. And there's no problems for Efren Reyes in this rack. He just pocketed the 1, came over here to the rail for the 2 ball. But the dilemma for Efren Reyes is the fact that he is Efren Reyes. And everybody expects him to win. And a lot of pressure comes with being the greatest player in the history of the game. And he's gotten funny on this 3 ball. He would have liked to have been on the other side of it. He's kind of right on top of it. It's got a little bit of angle, but he's on the wrong side. The cue ball's going in the wrong direction. So he's probably going to have to opt for a tougher shot on this 4 ball. I don't think he can get in between the 5 and the 7 over on the other side of the table. So he's going to come back over and look. And he's looking over there to see if the cue ball had a way to get through. I don't think it does. So he might be forced to follow this. Exactly. He's hitting high on the cue ball. It's not a gimme. And like I said, a lot of pressure comes with everybody expecting you to win, everybody expecting you to be the magician and show up and make all these great shots, and nobody expects for you to struggle, nobody expects for you to have any problems reading the layout or controlling the cue ball or just trying to gauge the speed of the table. But this is a match where we've watched Efren fight all of the elements. And comes down to these last few balls. Hill. There he got absolutely perfect on that 6 ball. Absolutely perfect. Look for him to either to stop or to draw back. He's hitting low. Looks like he's hitting a stop shot on the 6. And he's got a choice here. He can either go 1 rail or 2 rails. I like the 1 rail option. Just try to play your cue ball somewhere up around the side pocket. 2 rail option, you have the possibility of falling short. And he's taking the 2 rail option, coming back around. 1 rail, 2, and like I said, wow. And look at him. He's taking his time. He's going to come back over. He studies the shot, studies the angle. And that's why he's Efren Reyes right there. He is the best player in the world. And he just won a nail biter against a very tough Estonian player.